So you're going to get a 15-inch elevated work frame. You're also going to get 2 rolls of this poly jute mesh. You're going to get 3 rolls of ribbon, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to get this greenery, this, it's actually plastic filler greenery, along with this sign. Look at this. This is one of our favorite signs. It says Amazing Grace. It's got the wood grain, and then it has the lyrics behind it to Amazing Grace. So all of this is going to come in your wreath kit. And as always, you're going to get one of my wreath kit recipe cards. If you don't know how to use that recipe card, let me give you a quick rundown. So in this case, I want to look for a recipe that has 2 rolls of mesh, 3 rolls of ribbon, a wire frame, a rectangle sign. There is none, but we're going to talk about that. And this one happens to have flowers. So I'm going to find a recipe that's as close to that as possible. Look, 2 rolls of mesh, a square sign, 3 rolls of ribbon, and a wreath frame. That would be a very close recipe to what we've got here. So if you scan your QR codes, and you can see different recipes. Also, once you get to my website where all of my videos are at, you'll see all kinds of different tutorials for inspiration, because I don't make every wreath kit, but I do give you that recipe card to go along with it. Now, some of the things that you do not get in this kit that you may want to use, it just depends on your preference. Maybe you like to have holes punched in your sign. So I have a metal hole punch, and it'll pull it, and we can punch holes to attach it to our wreath frame. I prefer to use cable tie mounts. Those are not included. So it's going to depend on how you like to attach it. I also use pipe cleaners. So I'll use the cable tie mounts, the pipe cleaners, and my favorite, DAP Rapid Fuse Glue. Some additional things you'll want are some scissors and or a rotary cutter to cut your mesh. I use wire cutters. I use floral wire, or again, you can use pipe cleaners or zip ties. And I use my hot glue, because we do have some greenery that's going to be added. We're going to be using some hot glue. This wreath kit, our Amazing Grace wreath kit, comes with everything you see here and this 15-inch elevated work frame. So I'm going to get it ready, and we're going to start locking and loading it. So you're going to get 2 rolls of mesh with this kit. We're going to cut 18 strips at 34 inches long. Yes, you heard me, 34 inches long. So we will be using both rolls of this mesh and cutting them at 34 inches long. Hey, Miss Vanessa, traveling to work, girl, you better. I know, Charlotte. You best be careful, girl. I hate that. Yes, Charlotte, this one's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to do this one today because, you know, we've got so many things going on with the holidays. And I think that we overthink things sometimes. Like I can imagine how many family members that have everything, right? What do you get the person that has everything? This is one of those items. So if they have everything, they don't have this, right? They don't have a front door wreath that would be good all year round that says Amazing Grace. How many of you have a grandmother, a mother-in-law, a neighbor, maybe a church friend that would absolutely love to have this design and know that they could hang it on their humble abode all year round? I am going to use my little clip. People always ask me where I got this clip. I get these at the hardware store. Actually, I get them at a truck stop. I got these at a truck stop originally, but you can use a clothespin. It's the same difference. In the hobby section, you can find clips like that. So I'm going to do the Woodland ruffle, which means I'm going to curl in the edges a couple of twists, and I'm just going to clamp it just to hold on to it. So what that does is it allows that cut edge, that frayed edge, to be on the inside, and it reduces fraying as we work with the mesh, because all mesh will fray. So now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the opposite side, and I'm going to curl that in a few times so that that raw edge is on the inside. And now I'm just going to walk right up the middle and do a woodland ruffle. So a friend of mine created this ruffle design years back, and it's named after her. And so that's called the Woodland ruffle. Now you can put it on so the curls are up, or if you want to turn it down, this will make a thinner wreath if you go this way, or if you want to go this way, it'll be the curl side up. That's totally up to you. And we're going to place that right there in our twist tie on the outer rim. On the outer rim. This wreath is, y'all. Let me bring it up here. So look how full this is. That is 2 rolls of mesh, and we cut this at 34 inches. We did the Woodland ruffle method, and it's absolutely stunning. Look how full that is. All right, so let's bring it back down here, and let's go. So I've already added the pipe cleaners and the cable timeouts. We want to, of course, decide where we want to put the sign. I am a big fan of leaving room to add bows or tails or etc. And don't forget, this kit also comes with this greenery. I'm really going to have a lot of fun with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sign and find placement probably a little off to the side here. But guys, look at how pretty this would be if you put it up towards the top and you put a bow down here. Or even at the bottom and you put a bow up here. You decide. You get to decide where you're going to place it. It's a matter of personal preference. I like the space that it gives me when I do this, because now I can put a beautiful voluptuous bow and I can add my greenery and have it trailing around. So that's my vision. So come on down to the table and let's add this to our design. So because this also is going to have the floral, I'm not going to put ribbon tails on it quite yet, because we're going to be covering quite a bit of it up. There we go. Bring it on down here and add our sign to the wire frame. Go. So I did one on one side, bring this one in on the other. And I'm going to flip it over here so I can show you what I'm doing back here. So I'm going to bring it, I'm right here close to a crossbar, which works out really well. So I try to make sure that I'm close to a crossbar, if I can, at least one of them. And that helps prevent it from slipping and sliding away. So I'm just kind of loosely, not super tight, pulling that, and we don't want it to wiggle. So the top feels pretty secure. Now I'm going to do the bottom ones. So we'll take that wire, that pipe cleaner, feed it through our mesh, and bring it on up. I got more of this in, but unfortunately, it all went into the kits. So I don't have any extra, so I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't be mad at me. I did try to order some more, but this went solely for the kits. It's one of my favorite ribbon. It's called a jute netting, and it's all wired, as you can see. But it gives a really great texture. I love this. You're welcome, Jode. And this also comes with this brown and white and this fern green. Let me see if I have any fern. Yes, I do. I have some of this open back here on my shelf. Solids I typically have plenty of. So we're going to use the open roll first. And it doesn't look like there's very much out of that one. So let's start. One thing with the jute netting is you really don't need to cut it. Like, you're not going to diagonal. You're not going to dovetail it. I'm going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to start my tail right there. It is wired. So we're going to do a twist, do a single loop over here, about a 6-inch bow, or 6-inch loop, sorry. Another loop over here. And we're going to bring this out right here. Boom. So there's the base of it. But don't go too far with that. Hang on just a moment, please. Emma, Eli.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, one person in here, one person in there. Stay apart. You're too loud. One in here, one in there. Okay, sorry. They get riled out. And I get it. You know, they're home all day. They don't have school activities going on. So you can't really, I've tried to, I have this whole gamut of things. By the way, if you guys don't know who Emma and Eli are, they are our great niece and nephew who are living with us now pretty much 100% of the time because of their mom is extremely ill, and she's not able to take care of them. So anyway, you know, it's fun being 62 years old, almost 63, and being able to start all over again with an 8 and 9-year-old. How fun. So coming up with different activities and trying to keep them entertained all day. And of course, you know, they have it rough because Aunt Stephanie and Uncle Gary have different rules at their house that they did at theirs. And oh my goodness, it's a whole big thing. It's a whole big thing. And Jode, amen to that. And their siblings. They're so close in age that they're almost like twins. So it's a hoot. It's a hoot. But Gary and I, you know what we say? Gary and I are just like, okay, we pivot. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I wanted to add, watch this. So I did some of the brown, or I did the cream colored netting, and now I did brown. We're going to come back in here and we're going to add more netting, except it's not going to be a loop. It's just going to be a straight cut. And I'm going to fold that in half, find my halfway point. And this is just going to be extra texture. So we added some on top of the brown. Now I want to come in here with my fern green, and we're going to add some of that in here at about 5 inches. I may not need the sloth. That's why I kind of need the information. I went ahead and ordered for the grandkids, but I had one more. If I could get it, I can't. So let me know. That's what I was waiting for, the information to find out how much it is and how, you know, all that kind of fun stuff before I commit to it. Oh, Charlotte, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Yeah, if I don't see you, thanks for the prayers too, girl. And y'all, They opened up, somebody sent a package yesterday. It had like a little flying UFO in it. A very, very nice typewritten. So Rosalind, thank you and your husband for their gift. And they had I made them wait until Uncle Gary got home from work before they could open it. But it was great. And then they got some cards. I need to post a picture because someone else, they love getting the mail. And y'all, can you imagine what these poor children are like? Because they've been uprooted from home. They did get to see their mom last weekend and the weekend before. But chances are very good they will not be able to see her this weekend. She's not in the hospital at the moment, but she's not doing well. So take that for what you will, because they're in the very next room. And just know that the kids are safe and that they're doing great, but they've got to have it rough, you know. They're not at home with their mom and their grandpa and their pet kitty cat and their pet doggy. All that fun stuff. Actually, Jode, yesterday we did work at the warehouse. Emma is fantastic at opening the plastic bag. So every wreath kit gets put in its own separate bag. And so that way when we get an order, we just pull the bag off the shelf. Emma is like an expert with that. And so she did a bunch of them. Eli, he gets pretty bored with doing things like that. So we try to find different tasks for them to do. Just short things, easy things. But Emma loves to help. She's a good helper. Eli, he's like typical boy. Get me something. Get me out of here so I can play. Play, play, play. All right. Look at how. But before I do that, I want you to talk about color for a moment, because we're going to be adding some of this beautiful plastic filler bush in here. So when we look at the color around it, we know that we're going to be adding some green. I'm just going to stick a couple of these in here. Hang on a second so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to add some of this greenery, right? So I don't necessarily want more green around here. I want more of a contrast. So I think what I'm going to do is take some of our cream colored and this diagonal plaid, and we're going to add a few tails around the outer edges. Okay. It doesn't have to be super long for this. And remember, the jute netting, you do not want to dovetail it. So we're only going to do like 12-inch ones. So we're going to do maybe about 10 right now. Let's do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the one thing nice about kits at Festive Creations is that you do get the whole roll of ribbon, right? Jenny! I'm dying here, girl. All right, at Festive Creations, you get the whole roll of ribbon. And So that means that if you want to put 2 bows or 3 bows, you've got the flexibility to design this the way you see fit. It doesn't always have to be like me. So I want you to explore and test out, and you've got the tools to do it. All right, we are almost there. So I chose to go with this combination so that we would have a nice little contrast in colors. I also chose the colors for this wreath kit so that it could be very neutral for anyone's home. So even though the greenery does have a slight hue to it, like a pink or almost a peachy, I don't even know what you want to call that, mauve, I don't know. But it's going to blend very well with most decor if you hung this on your front door. So this kit would make a great, great gift for anyone, whether they are a crafty person and want to make it themselves, or you want to make it for someone for a gift. This one would be just perfect. Let's do an overhead, a front view for a moment, and I'm going to show you where we're at. So I did not add tails to all the twist ties on the top row, because I'm getting ready to start adding this greenery. Okay, so I'm not going to use all of the ribbon that's on the rolls. You could, if you wanted to make it fuller and put one on each one of the twist ties on the top row, that's perfectly up to you, but I'm going to leave it a lighter, not real full, heavy look by adding the greenery. So let's go back down here and start adding some greenery. So I've got my glue pot over here warmed up, and mesh is it. It's been a day. All right, Jenny, that's funny. Okay. Oh, crud. It keeps wanting to go that way. All right, let me get the lid off my glue pot, and we're going to be cutting all of these in pieces. I am going to use the whole bush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 cuts on this. So you're going to get 9 snips. It's 9 snips. Ooh, I think Uncle Gary might be coming home. Yay. All right, so I'm gonna leave these kind of long, because once I add glue to this, I'm going to bring it down underneath my bow and kind of wiggle it around, and that glue will help stabilize my bow and keep it from shifting throughout time. So over time. So let's start by adding some glue and heading right in there. And go right underneath that bow. Push it through the weave, wiggle it around, and we're going to fix the bow here in a minute, but I want to get a good base here. Now I'll do a long one here and a long one here, and then the next ones I will probably cut back a little bit, okay? So let's do a long one on the opposite side. Hello, hello. Oh yes, this wreath kit is available. The link is down below. It's one of our brand new wreath kits. We just listed a few new ones this week. And if you are a follower of Hardworking Mom, she also got this kit too, so she'll be making it on her site. Hey, Miss Becky George, happy Thanksgiving, girl. All right, so we're going to shorten this one up. I don't need it quite as long. And remember, we have 9 of them. I'm going to go a little bit shorter, go in between the loops and down through the mesh. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Hopefully you guys can see it. It is a perfect gift idea. Tanya, 100% agree. And that's why, that's how we started out. You know, if you have someone that likes to craft, this is a great craft to do. And, or if you're looking for the perfect gift for someone who has everything, this is perfect for them too. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go catch up with my hubby, get started on some dinner. And I probably will not see you before Thanksgiving. So I want to wish every one of you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey. Be safe. And hug the ones you love. I'll see you soon. Have a great one. Don't forget to check your email tomorrow, though. Don't forget that. All right. Have a good one, y'all. I can't text you later. I've got work to do. Oh my God. People. Oh shit. Oh, I hate that. Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Do you have a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.